We're going to work on some standing balancing postures now, looking at the intelligence of those postures, and we'll review more in person what Iyengar says about them. So we're going to come into Vrikshasana, which is tree pose. Ardha Vrikshasana Urdhva Vrikshasana is a handstand, just interestingly enough. So that would be an upward facing tree as opposed to this one, which is just Vrikshasana. So standing on one foot, that Padabandha comes back. So you want to maintain Padabandha as you lift the opposite leg. Several variations exist that I think most of us are familiar with. So you can take the foot to the inside of the opposite thigh. You can take the foot to the calf muscle. The toe can also be down on the ground. Ultimately, the intelligence of the posture is in trying to keep the hips level here. So one hip is going to tend to tent up or hike up, what we call sass. I call this sassing the hip. That said, you really do want a long line of energy through the lateral line of the body. So once you get the foot on the thigh, really lengthening through both sides of the body as you reach the arms potentially up towards the ceiling, potentially out to the side. You can do a crooked tree where the eagle bind of the arms comes in. You can do palms out and then up. You could do hands in reverse prayer. So in between the shoulder blades, pull the elbows back. Lots of different arm variations that you can play with in tree pose that can make it a little bit more challenging for your clients. There's also another variation that you can do with the legs. So coming into more of like a Bikram style version where you're going to go into a Padmasana, so a one-sided Padmasana. Soles of the feet up, femur bone is rotated externally. The knee is going to press down towards the ground. Using the glute muscle on the side that's lifted will help to pull that knee back in space. So seeing this from the side, here, half Padmasana here, and then if I engage this muscle here, it will pull the knee back in space. So lots of different variations for a tree pose. Tree pose into a toe stand is a natural progression. There's also Uttanasana, Vrikshasana, so tree pose forward fold. So foot comes here into Ardha Padmasana, and then you just fold over the standing leg, continuing to engage Padabandha here. Lots of variations in tree pose. I would love to hear if you have some more suggestions that we haven't talked about specifically. Oh yeah, you can also just hold the knee out here. That was one that I didn't really remember. I think this is maybe more of the posture that we're about to go into, which is Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. So what the heck does that mean? Utthita, upward, standing upright. So Utthita Trikonasana is kind of an upward triangle. It's not up like this, right? Not Urdhva. That's a different word, different connotation. But Utthita is kind of like at attention, right? So Utthita, at attention. Hasta, hand. Padangustasana. So gusta being your toe. Pada, your foot. Gusta, your toe. So Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. The intelligence of the posture here is also in this standing leg and in the spine here. What you will see when people come into this is they will tend to round over to get to their foot and then keep that compromised integrity of the spine as they go through the posture. You should encourage people maybe to not do that because it's not really what the posture is intended to do. It's intended to make you strong standing on one leg while you are externally rotating the opposite leg. We'll look at this, what it looks like on the ground. So we're going to kind of bring everything that we're doing standing onto the ground and see how those postures relate to each other. So let's look at just what happens with the spine for most people. So if I'm lifting that same leg, my left leg, right? What a lot of people will do is round forward to grab the toe. When they do this, they're not coming all the way back to a standing posture. A lot of people will stay here, especially if they don't have the hamstring flexibility. So you remember when we were talking about Uttanasana, and then if the hamstring flexibility is not here to allow the rib cage to touch the thighs with the legs straight, it's gonna start to come into a lot of rounding through the back. So if you remember what we talked about just a couple of videos ago, same situation is happening here. So it's exactly the same anatomy, right? It's just in a different orientation to gravity. So here, if people don't have the hamstring flexibility to stand up straight and extend the leg out, what's going to happen is they're going to compromise through the spine. Do you see this? Same as what happened when we were in that forward fold. So just be aware the intelligence of the posture is in that standing leg and standing up straight and bearing body weight on one leg while there's perturbation in other parts of the body. Props are really nice here. So a strap around the foot is a fantastic prop. Keeping the knee bent is perfectly acceptable. This arm is going to serve kind of as a counterbalance. Out to the side is great if you can keep the side body integrated as you're doing this. For many people, reaching the arm up over the head helps them engage through the lateral line of the leg as they're reaching up over their head, which will maintain the integrity of the spine. You'll feel it. Just practice it. You'll feel exactly what I'm talking about, I hope. But you'll feel the multifidi, you'll feel the spinal erectors, you'll feel the abdominal muscles, everything just kind of making sure that the spine is nice and integrated. So that's one of the advantages of this posture that I really, really love. Keeping that same leg lifted, we can go into Parivrtta Utthita Padangusthasana, so rotated. Essentially what that looks like is we're going to say same left leg, opposite hand comes, and then you reach back here. Again, the integrity of the spine is really where this is all about. So notice if people are bending forward, leaning forward in order to get to the foot. The foot is really a distraction, a little bit of a distraction from the posture itself, from where we want to be with the posture itself. Working with the tissues over time will help to integrate them in a way that people may find it more accessible the more they practice it. That said, people always want to be able to do like the most advanced version of a posture, even if it's compromising the integrity of the asana itself. Don't be too nitpicky about it, but it can be worthwhile to just mention to people that there are tools available, that there are props available that can help them achieve kind of the right feeling in the posture, even if it doesn't look the same as everybody else in the room. Oh, there was one tree pose variation that I wanted to tell you about. I'm just looking in the 2100 Asanas book, which I love. I love it so much. That is a revolved half-bound tree pose. This is a more of a kind of Ashtanga level or Ashtanga lineage tree pose. And so what it looks like is you come into that Ardha Padmasana here. You're going to wrap this arm around the body and you're reaching for the big toes. You can come all the way into a rotation here. And it feels like really nice, actually. This is a harder one to use a prop with. So what you're going to do, if you can't get the heel high enough, if you don't have the angle of the femur bone to allow the foot to come here and grab onto the toe, is you're just going to reach for it. Just kind of like you're going into a, half bind situation. If you can't reach the full bind, perfectly acceptable. That one is like amazing for the ligaments of the knees. It can be too much for a lot of people, but if you have the flexibility and the give in the ligaments of the knees, can be really nice. I don't know. It's nice on the fascial chains of the body. So give that one a shot. It's probably one that you haven't seen too much of. You can incorporate backward bending into tree pose. You can incorporate backward bending into an Utthita Padangusthasana. I'll show you guys one more variation, and I don't know. I'll look for it in the 2100 asanas book, but I don't know if this one necessarily has a name or not. It's just a really interesting posture. So this is kind of a brainchild or mix between a bird of paradise posture, an Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, an Ardha Uttanasana, and maybe like a standing happy baby situation. So if I lift the left leg, reach for the inside of the left heel, take this leg out to the side. So this is a variation, right, of a bird of paradise pose. Nice and integrated through the spine. From here, I'm going to fold forward and take the leg out to the side. Once again, I'll look for the name of that one because I'm not sure exactly what it is. But that one is just, again, it makes the whole body kind of work as a unit. I find it a really integrated posture. So that's a neat one to sprinkle in, a little fun.